Hi guys, Bobby here from Peak Performance Academy, and today's Technique Thursday I'm going to show you some different options you have for your whole workouts to challenge your quads. So when we look at the quads, okay, so we're looking at the quads here, insertion into the hip and insertion into the knee. Certain quadricep muscles like the rectus femoris crosses the knee, so we need to think about that when we're challenging the quads. So a very, very simple one, guys, everybody's probably doing is the goblet squat. What I would recommend for most people will not have the adequate ankle mobility to get full knee flexion. Full knee flexion being your knee or your calf touching your hamstring. Complete flexion of the quad, so a fully lengthened quad. So we can elevate our heels. You mightn't have these plates at home, but you will have something like a book, telephone book, anything like that can elevate your heels. So you pop your heels up, we're locking in, we're aiming here for full knee flexion. So allow the knees to go forward, we're keeping that neutral spine, and now I'm at the bottom of my squat. So that's me at maximum knee flexion, driving through the bottom. Okay, and driving up to the very, very top. One option. So the key thing there, elevate the heels, get that full depth. Next option, we can go into a split stance. And again, we have two options here. With split stance, we can pop our foot up on something, behind a chair, anything like that. Get your stability through your front foot, and I can come down, I can challenge the quad here. Now, in this position, I'm getting a bit of a challenge to the hamstring as well, so there's a benefit here. Driving through. So really thinking about creating as much tension as I possibly can on this right leg. One other option, putting your back foot elevated on something, a split squat variation. Another variation of that we can do is we can go and we can load our front foot, hold on to something, and now what I'm going to do, this is going to take away the stability factor. So I'm going to focus now on driving my knee over my toe as much as I possibly can, creating as much knee flexion again in a single leg. Okay, so I'm going to drive forward, 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 forward. So now I'm at maximum knee flexion for me, and then I'm going to put all that weight here, nothing on the back, and push through as I come up. And that's another variation of a split stance. So down into full flexion and push through as you come up, keeping all that tension on this foot, and again holding on to something on this side. So we start off with our goblet squat as a challenge. We went to a split squat with our back foot elevated. We went to a front foot heel elevated split squat, again working on that full flexion. Remember, in this variation we got a bit of a challenge in the hamstring as well. So that's a couple of options, guys, you can do for a single, just with a single piece of equipment, like a dumbbell or a kettlebell or whatever, that you can challenge your quads. If we looked in at what we want to challenge, you could do maybe a set here and a set of a split stance. That's two challenges to the quad. And then what you could finish off with is just some body weight lunges. Now with lunges, just think about when we lunge, if we drive our knee forward as much as we possibly can, we're going to get a big challenge to the quad here. So again, think knee flexion. So if I lunge and I focus on driving my knee forward as much as I can, I'm really going to challenge the quad. You can really feel that when you do it. Now, if I want to challenge more hamstring and glute, I can keep my knee slightly behind. I can feel more of a stretch in my hamstring, and I can keep my knee at about a 90-degree angle, and can really help you to challenge the hamstring and glute there. Now, when you're doing your lunges, what I would recommend, start off with your goblet squat, a couple of sets, do your split lunge as a variation as well, and then finish off with some maybe 1 to 2 minute body weight lunge session at the end. A bit of metabolic work to really drive as much blood as you possibly can into the legs, just to finish your session. So it's a great way to vary the options you have just with one piece of kit to really challenge the quads. Great workout for the legs, and a great way to really get the most out of your home training when it comes to challenging lower body. Okay guys, enjoy that. Any questions you have on any of these exercise selections, rep ranges and stuff like that, I would just recommend, depending on your ability, 2 to 4 sets of each of these is absolutely fine. I would recommend with the lunges at the end, do a 2 minute finisher that's really going to be metabolic. You're just doing a 2 minute set on walking lunges. Really, really good challenge to finish off that nice lower body workout for quads.